Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Horizons review series. Today we are reviewing episode 62 and I hope you enjoy. So after Roy's soul crushing defeat to Ryme, he's a bit down on himself. I do love the inspirational words from Liko asking him if you're just going to give up after all this. However, I wish Roy kept this feeling for a bit longer. He slapped some snow on his face and that was it. It was kind of back to normal. I would have liked them to dive into this a bit more. But we learned that Ryme has another concert tonight, and since she did say wash your soul and come back, there's another chance for Roy. With the help of Nimona and the others, it's time for some special training. A pretty wholesome scene as the whole gang work on their stamina, and Liko and Dot even get dragged into this and are just completely wiped out. But this first part helped Roy and Fuecoco work on their pace and their stamina, and Nimona even mentions Roy attacks too much. She suggests using a bit more movement in battle to help his style. She was a great addition to this episode again here, helping out Roy massively. But Roy starts to think what Ryme actually said. Why does he sing? And then we get into a Roy backstory, which I did not expect, but this was so damn good. We learn that Roy's parents are sailors, and they often are away from the island, so he was left with his grandpa since they were on a long voyage. But when he was little, they used to go out in the boat and sing. The whole family would sing to bond, communicate and just share this time together. And it was just really wholesome that this is the one thing that Roy remembers most from his parents, how close that bond was through their singing. I was expecting a tragic passing at sea or something, but that probably would have just been too much. I guess it is Pokemon after all. But I really hope we see them again and that they are safe, because I'd love to explore this bond with Roy just a bit more. But Roy takes that singing into his own life and he starts to meet the wild Pokemon and friends through singing. And he comes to realise that he was using it with Fuecoco more as a power boost, a way to spur Fuecoco on, which was wrong. He goes back to the basics and he wants to start using it to communicate and just to simply have fun. It was such a great bit of development for them both. As Liko and Dot are hilariously trying to stall Ryme, Roy finally arrives and asks for that rematch. Unfortunately, it is just a one-on-one, so RIP my boy Killer Wattrel, he doesn't get any redemption. We just have Fuecoco versus Toxtricity. And this battle goes down a little differently. Fuecoco is moving around a lot more, it's being more strategic with its attacks, and they just seem to overall be in more control of this battle. The battle isn't perfect. I think it suffers from Ryme just feeling so nerfed now compared to the overwhelming power she had in the last battle, even her going as far as using her Terrestrial first. But this was because Roy was in control. He was the conductor of this concert, he was singing his new song to communicate with Fuecoco and having fun while battling. The whole crowd were even getting involved and it was just really wholesome. And then Roy ends up terrestrializing after Ryme, and it finishes off Toxtricity with a flamethrower. Honestly, I'm really surprised that we didn't get an evolution here. It doesn't bother me at all, but I just wonder what they are saving this moment for, because this felt like the perfect time. So I hope when the inevitable moment does come, it feels big and it feels impactful, because this was the perfect opportunity to do so. They had the singing gimmick going, they just defeated Ryme, which was no easy task, but it didn't happen, and at least we've still got that to look forward to. And when it does come, obviously this episode gives them some fantastic development moving forward. So Roy defeated Ryme and passed his implementation test, along the way growing even closer with Fuecoco and creating a new song for them to battle to. Just peak stuff all around here. Ryme tells him that she sees great potential in him and Fuecoco, foreshadowing the inevitable Skelly-Dirge in the future. And the episode ends as randomly Grusha is here watching, awaiting Liko's challenge. But this episode was great. It was a really good follow-up from last week's defeat. Obviously, I do have a few complaints. I think the battle was pretty weak in terms of action and back and forth. I also would have liked Roy to linger on that defeated feeling for a bit longer. But other than that, this episode was really good. The whole trio of episodes were massively needed for Roy. He probably was the least developed of the trio, but he's had some really great character progression here. Growing closer with his Pokemon, learning what it means to sing, what he battles for, and even getting a glimpse into his past. Just all really good stuff. I would have liked that evolution, but no doubt it will come soon, and I can't wait. But as for this episode, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts on this one. What is your rating out of 10? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.